Scorpio, how's it going, guys? It's been a little while, huh? So for a lot of signs, I've been playing songs that have been for a lot of the signs, I've been playing songs that remind me of y'all energy of this month. And I just want to let this song rock a little bit because it's feeling very Scorpio right now. Sex Dreams, Lady Gaga. Just rock with me for a minute while I shuffle these cards.
When I lay in bed, I touch myself and think of you. Last night, somewhere in my sex dreams, doing nasty things. Feeling my sex dreams, making love in my sex dreams.
Alright, Scorpio, let's go.
We're both convicted criminals of thought.
Let's do this. Okay, Scorpio, so I almost didn't want to play that song for a bit because I was thinking like, oh, how cliche, Scorpio sex, blah, blah, blah. But I just couldn't get it out of my head and I just couldn't stop wanting to get it in here. And I think that what we're going to talk about here, you know, it's not just about like sex, like getting it in, right? There's more to like sexual feeling than that, right? There's creativity, there's passion, there's birth, there's newness, right? Like how many times have you gone out? I'm sure I don't need to tell you guys this, right? You can go out and flirt and like look real fly and whatever it is, and you don't even have to like hook up or like do anything with anybody to feel like the power of like that sexual energy, right? To feel the invigoration of getting attention, of putting yourself out there, of kind of connecting to each other, right? Like that's kind of what, I almost said death because I have death out here for you guys, but that's what sex does. It connects you to people, right? It's creative, it's invigorating, right? So what I'm doing here, and I think that there's a reason that came out too, because there's just so much passion I'm feeling with you guys. When I was shuffling, so far you're the first reading I've done, and the last of the readings for the month actually, but where like all these cards keep popping out, and we got two major arcanas just popping out while I'm pre-shuffling. So what I've been doing this month here is I've been pulling what's known traditionally in tarot card readings as significators. It's a card that you basically use to represent the queer in a reading, and so far it's been going really well, and I've been liking to do this. I've been enjoying doing this. It kind of helps you connect with the Scorpio energy and kind of like a baseline for the reading and something to keep coming back to, right? Now, Scorpio, I think similar to Capricorn with the devil, right? Your card that is associated with you is a little on the surface, a little hard to swallow, right? A little scary looking, a little intimidating. But I mean, look at the face of the skeleton, right? It's kind of got a skeleton grin, and the way he's just like, you know, has his scythe raised and just like gleefully almost chopping away at bullshit. And I think that's such a Scorpio quality, right? Like y'all don't have patience or the time for people's bullshit, right? And exact the opposite, like y'all, like we always talk about the Queen of Swords as cutting and Justice as cutting and stuff like that, right? But this motherfucker, his thing is sharp and deadly, and he doesn't give a fuck about letting go of toxic shit, of letting go of things that need to be let go of, right? Because what do you have coming in your favor here, right? In Scorpio, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So my feeling for you guys, and if you're one of the Scorpios who've been going through difficult time, don't get mad at me for saying this, but I'm feeling like you guys are feeling a little powerful right now. You're feeling a little strong, a little in your element, like things are going well for you, like things are moving in the direction you want them to be moving in. You know what's funny, when I was thinking about this card, I was like, are you guys intimidated by this? Because like Capricorn, like they can face the devil energy, right? They can face the shadow side. There's the thin line between when that can go too, when that can go wrong, you know, where they can become a little too harsh, a little too dark, right? Similarly with you guys, there's a thin line between cutting bitches off because it's healthy and just like wanting to like hurt someone because you're angry. But when I was looking at this card, do you remember that movie, Scary Movie 2, where Anna Faris is being chased by the skeleton and her friend is hiding behind the corner, and she's like, please die, bitch, get her, kill her, leave me alone. And then she comes around the corner and she looks and she sees a skeleton. She's like, girl, that's what you're running from? That's a skeleton. Those are bones. Why are you running from bones? Would you run from Callista Flockhart? And that's what I'm feeling like with this energy with Scorpio and like death. It's like, those are bones. Like, you guys know the joke. You guys know the humor. You guys understand without like taking it so to heart and getting lost in it. Like that death is a part of life, and all those other things like sex, like mystery, like power. Like, you guys are just in touch with all of that stuff this month. And then as I was shuffling again while that song was playing, we got the High Priestess. So first of all, there's a lot of watery energy here with these cards. And I think that's why I wanted to go into the sex dreams, right? Because this, and not surprising that the card is the subconscious, right? When we're talking about a song that has to do with dreams and lust and passion and desire, that the card that pops up is the card of the subconscious, or the card of knowing. Like, this is also a very Scorpio card, right? Where you can plunge into the depths, where you can your intuition is on fire, right? Your sense of self, your sense of what you need and where you're going is just like on fire this month, right? And I think that the wheel is turning, and you guys like kind of knew it was going to turn, and you were expecting it and you're waiting for it. And it's just like, you're sitting there now, like the High Priestess, like, yeah, bitch, I knew. Like, with your hand open, ready to receive blessings, right? So Scorpio, since it's been a couple of months since we've spoken, we've had a crazy eclipse season that just like kind of shook things loose, let go of things. But I think you guys are kind of okay. You're one of the signs that I think handled it well, because you are the masters of transformation, and you're the masters of picking up after loss and moving on and figuring out like what's ahead in your life, right? Unlike me, my Gemini sensitive ass is like crying and like sad, and like, I'm not actually crying, but because, you know, I'm also a Gemini, a little emotionally detached, but very sad, very like so much change that it's been a shock, right? So Scorpio, let's go ahead and take a look at where you guys have been this summer, like what's been going on for you guys, what energies you're coming into September with, and then we'll jump into what you have to look forward to in the month ahead. So Page of Wands, passion, right? Sexuality, like you guys might have been feeling like what I was feeling was just a resurgence of your life force. Like the last few months, it's like before that, I think going into the summer, things maybe felt really low. And you weren't sure what was happening. You maybe felt a little lonely, like your job situations were not working out. You were grieving. You were feeling loss. You were feeling sadness. And then I think coming into the summer, like there's been a spark. It's almost like I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be that way anymore. I'm not gonna live my life, or not live my life rather, right? Page of Wands is looking forward to new opportunities, new business opportunities, more opportunities for romance and passion. And I feel like when I'm picking these songs, I'm just being on point with the energy. It's like passion is restored. It's like mojo, right? It's like you guys might have been really fucking hormonal and horny these last few months, because all I'm seeing is this guy like holding this rod as if it's like maybe I'm the one who has to get. I mean, yeah, I've been like being reclusive and like hermiting myself away because, whatever. Anyway, temperance, right? So this is what I'm talking about with stability, right? This is where it's like this fire and this passion has maybe almost been a counterbalance to the way things have been for a long time. So if you've been feeling sad, you start to feel up. If you've been feeling lonely, like not feeling so lonely, maybe you're okay being single, or maybe you're just connecting with people, right? Whatever it is, in the last few months, I think that your life has been getting steady, right? And that's why you're ready to look ahead to the future. These are both cards of looking towards the future with excitement, with passion, with vigor, and being ready and able to kind of pursue that and move forward in your life in a new way, right? With all this fire in your belly. All right, one more for where Scorpio's been. Full moon. So again, like I think goals and dreams and ideas coming to fruition. The moon with a sign like Scorpio, the full moon, I feel like is that high priestess energy. It's like that getting deep, getting in touch with yourself. Your intuition might have been on fire recently, right? You might have just been like seeing people for who that's why it's almost like I don't give a fuck, right? Because like more sensitive signs like Libra or Cancer or whatever, they might be reluctant to cut people off because it's like they're like you know, still enamored by the facade, you know, and you're almost like fuck you without any hesitation, because it's like you know, you just are so clear on what it is you want and who you are, right? And there's no need to like doubt yourself, right? No need to question the path that you're on, right? No need to second guess yourself. All right, so that's like a good start for this summer. I think that what's been happening is almost, I feel like picking yourself up, right? Being really resilient to bullshit, being really adamant about not letting anybody or anything like really come in between you and like your heart's desires. These are all cards of like manifestation of your heart's desires. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we got to look forward to for Scorpio in the month of September. So first off, a lot of majors, right? We're starting off, we have 3, 4, now 5 majors. There was another sign that I can't remember which one it was where all these majors felt like confusion. But right now I feel like it's just because big things pop in for Scorpio. I think that with the Magician coming to September, exactly what I was saying before about knowing what you want and making it happen. I think that you're going to see some concrete steps towards real life goals, whether that's taking relationships to the next level, whether that's getting into relationships, whether that's, you know, job changes or advancements in that department, you know, moving to a place you want to live in, whatever's happening. I think that Scorpio has been creating. Scorpio has been it's like knowing your worth with the Magician, right? Knowing what you have to offer, knowing your value. And it doesn't necessarily mean that like people have been treating you like you have no value or like that you haven't known your value, but it is a coming to yourself, almost very selfish in a good way, self-centered sense of what you want. That's what I just feel more than anything, like what you want. Scorpio right now is like holding his hand out to the universe and saying, gimme, and like in a way where like you guys know how to manifest. You're in tune, right? So it's gonna happen. This is a good month for like setting intentions, right? That's exactly what you do during the full moon. You manifest things, right? You bring your goals to a head. You use all this energy to create like what you want to exist. All right, so what else do we have for Scorpio in September? 10 of Wands. So I think a lot of work, right? And I think of willingness, right? With these two cards especially, a willingness to take on work on your own. There's the 10 of Wands came up for another sign where they needed to kind of like share the load. But I feel like right now, really immersing yourself in work is really constructive, right? I think that you might find yourself with almost like this really long to-do list of so much to get done, right? Of so much that you want to do and accomplish that it could potentially be overbearing or overwhelming. But with the Magician energy there, I think that's a sign that it's well handled, right? And I feel like with the wheel popping out that we're looking at like good things coming your way. And these are not, these can be burdens, but I think the burdens are also blessings. I feel like it's one of those things where once you get to the point where you pick up the bundle of wands, and then you bring it to where it needs to be, you can feel relief, right? Like, I think this is also a desire to create. Like, Scorpio is a sign about legacies and what you create and what you leave behind. And I think that you guys might be hustling, like, to provide for your children, to provide for your families, to make sure that, because, you know, like, in the distance, right, you can see this little house, and that's where these wands are going. This person isn't just bearing this burden, they're bearing the burden for the better good of, like, their community and for people they care about, and for their loved ones. Yeah. So maybe in September a little heaviness, but like heaviness that you take on yourself, heaviness that you want, right? You want to make things happen, you want to manifest, you want to create, and you're willing to do the work to get it. What else do we have for September for Scorpio? King of Cups. So on the one hand, I feel like this represents you guys just feeling really emotionally stable, finding that stability, finding the balance between work and love, right? The King of Cups is like above the water, but of it still. So connected to you know, the emotional and material richness, emotional abundance, right? Material abundance. I think that you guys could be having a lot of celebrations, a lot of fun in September, a lot of connections with people, a lot of good times. To me, the King of Cups is sometimes almost like a little bit of a drunk king, but this time it feels like in a good way, where it's like a reward for the hard work you've been doing. So if you want to celebrate, if you want to go out, if you want to reconnect with people, this is a great month to do that. I also feel like there are, this also rings to me of like the energy of providing, right? The King of Cups is a provider. He gives. He understands the nature of water is to ebb and flow, to take and give. So this could also be a month of giving of yourself to people you care about, right? Of being nourished by them and then reciprocating that energy, right? If you're watching this for a Scorpio, if you're a cross watcher, I would absolutely say to consider reaching out to them, consider giving them something that makes them feel emotionally warm, right? Because with the Scorpio, that's going to be reciprocated, that's going to be given back to you, right? What else do we have for Scorpio in September? Two of Wands, like the same thing coming up again, with the sense of looking towards the future, with the sense of being ready for what's next, right? Another sign, I think it was Taurus, where it felt like they were seeing the house in the distance and this was a doorway, and it feels like almost like too far away. But for you guys, I feel like this is a sense of like you're ready to walk through that doorway, you're ready to embark on what's next and new. You're ready. If you've been single, you know, you're ready to put yourself out there. If you're in a relationship, ready maybe to take it to the next level, right? Whatever your business goals and dreams are, right? I think love and money are the big name of the game for September, and I think that both of those things are possible, and managing both of them are really doable. This is duality, right? When I was talking about the King of Cups and then now the Two of Wands, it's like both of these things are within your grasp. You can, in a way, kind of like have it all this month. You can adjust and adapt yourself so that, you know, romance and career are not mutually exclusive of each other, where one actually feeds the other, right? And I just do feel like there's Scorpio being driven by a sense of purpose and a sense of providing and a sense of the future. What else do we have for Scorpio in September? Yeah. Smell cigarettes. Ace of Swords. 1 second, please. Sorry about that. My neighbor has guests and they just keep smoking right outside my window, and I thought I was smelling the cigarette smoke coming in my house, and no one's there, but I don't know if they finished or something. But speaking of which, right, Ace of Swords, I was just ready to go tell somebody to like stop fucking smoking outside my house, because now my whole apartment is smelling like cigarettes, bro. Anyway, Are you ready to speak your truth? Are you ready to like embrace like the things that you want? Are you ready to like take on the responsibility sort of moving forward of sorry, I'm distracted now because I'm really annoyed. I'm not the best with confrontation. I'll just tell you guys that. I know you probably are, and that's why maybe I felt inspired to get the fuck up right there and go catch somebody, but like they're not there. And now I'm just like annoyed. Sorry. And now I'm just looking at this Ace of Swords as like annoyance, as like you know, needing to check some people and needing to like establish boundaries is what I'm feeling here, you know? But it's not bad, right? The Ace of Swords is the keenness of our minds. It's a possibility, right? It's again that ability to imagine and visualize the future, to really take charge of your dreams, to speak them into reality, right? This is a big month for you guys if you want to make some shit happen, right? You're coming into September with full moon energy and the Magician and Ace of Swords and Wheel of Fortune, like big month to make things happen. I think with the Ace of Swords, you know, it is actually time to articulate a vision. I think it is time to say like what you expect and what you feel like you've earned and deserved, right? It's time to tell people if someone needs to be told to tell them off. It's time to do what you got to do to protect yourself. Like I feel like I'm not encouraging like confrontation. I think if anything what I'm saying is like establishment of boundaries, right? Establishment of a sense of self. I think you guys probably have an easier time with that, but I think for some of you, some people might have been pushing you or feeling like somebody's standing in your way. And with the Ace of Swords, it's time to cut the bitch out of the way and just like move forward and do you and create the thing that you want, right? To use your mind and your mouth to communicate. To have like, I think there may be some conversations that need to be had. I think that there's some like connection in talking. So like I said, for the cross watchers, but also for you Scorpios yourself, you know, reach out to people. I think it's a good month to communicate. I think it's a good month to call someone you haven't talked to in a while. I think it's a good month to, you know, just touch base with people you care about. Let's look specifically at your love life this month. What's going on for Scorpio in love in the month of September? You know, y'all are just like having a good old time. So I think a lot of you single Scorpios out there might just be like still playing the field a little bit, not taking anything really too seriously. You know, I'm getting annoyed now because I dated a Scorpio for like 2 dates and he was such a fucking prick. And like the first day in Miami, he was all like, "Oh, I love you. Let's get married. We're taking pictures." Our friend's taking pictures. He's like, "These are engagement photos." And then like a couple of days later, he's like, "Oh, you know, I don't really know if this is what I want." And I was like, I fucking knew it. Like from the beginning, I called you on your bullshit. You know, I knew that you were just like spinning fucking bullshit. But Scorpio, I'm gonna put my feelings aside and say, you know what? Have the time of your lives right now. If you're in a relationship, like having fun, I think is important. Like celebrating how far you've come, right? Celebrating like, you know, taking a trip with your significant other, like having a date night, right? If you're in a difficult relationship, no matter what your relationship status is, I think that fun right now is invigorating. Celebrating like your accomplishments, like really like gathering people who matter to you around you. It feels like a big month of like connection and in a way service to other people, but also celebration with other people, right? What else do we have for Scorpio in love in September? You're moving on, like letting go of the bullshit. That's what, you know, like gleefully cutting off whatever is not working anymore. Like Scorpio's had it. Scorpio's not going to put up with people who shake their boat or make you feel unsteady. That doesn't even mean they have to be bad people, but just like what I said from the beginning, you just know what's going to work for you and what's not. and you have a clear vision of where you're going, and it's very easy for you now to be aware of red flags. I think it's very easy for you to steer clear of drama. Like, just not have it, like, just disconnect, right? Like, sometimes you want to fight somebody, and now it's just like, it's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy, right? You don't want to rock the boat so much that it tips over. You're heading towards these calmer waters. And it's about making the choice, right? I think, Scorpio, if people are trying you, the Six of Wands, especially in like love situations, the Six of Wands is always thought about moving into calmer waters, but it's also a card about choices. It's also a card about picking your path and where you want to go and steering yourself in that direction. So I would say with romance, like, do your best this month to avoid conflict with your significant other or even people that you're dating. You know, if someone's being a fuckboy, just like cut them off. Like, just cut them off, right? There's no reason to fight. There's no reason to get caught up in drama. The thing is that sometimes that shit feels empowering, but all it does is suck the life out of you, right? It feels good and strong to cuss somebody out sometimes, right? Use your words, and establish boundaries, but with the sense of gentleness, right? With the sense of not letting yourself get caught up in something that could potentially throw you off, right? One more thing for love for September for Scorpio. Strength. So I think you guys are just feeling solid. You guys, you know, again, no matter your relationship status, you're comfortable, right? If you're on a page of just sex dreams, right? If you're on the page of just, you know, casual encounters with people and you don't want anything serious, like, that's good for you right now. If you want to find love, it's about whatever makes you feel strong and stable right now, right? Some of you that might be having to leave a relationship that is toxic, right? Without looking back. Some of you that's enjoying your single party girl life. Some of you, it's going to be, you know, the comfort that you find in the relationship you have. No matter what it is, I think you guys are finding a sense of comfort and a sense of stability, and it's empowering you to move forward. It's empowering you to really, like, you know, it's almost like you don't have to worry about this other shit and you can focus on what really matters to you right now. You know? All right, so let's take a quick look at your finances and career for September. Well, what did I say? Ace of Cups, how your emotional life was going to be supporting your material life and vice versa, right? With the King of Cups. And the Ace of Cups is also about the flow of energy, right? About giving and taking, about you know, when the water runs, it runs clear, right? As opposed to being stagnant, right? You want to flow, you want to connect with people. Like, I think this is also about finding meaning in what you do, even if like what you do is like boring and you're looking at spreadsheets all day. It's about the purpose behind it, right? It's about what your money can do for you in terms of how it enhances your personal relationships, about how it makes you feel good about yourself, how it inspires hope for the future. Like, Ace of Cups could be like, you know, just wanting to go on a vacation or buy a house with your spouse, or you know, buy a cute gift for your child, whatever it might be. There's a big overlap this month with your heart and your money. So, I mean, this is why I think my instincts coming into these readings have been pretty spot on, because like, what was I saying from the beginning? Like, Scorpio, I feel like you're all right. Nine of Pentacles is about feeling good in yourself, feeling positive in like what you're creating. It's almost like everything that you've planted is going really well. You have this rich garden, you have these grapes hanging, you have, you know, this really well balanced growth in your life, in your material world. I think that, you know, if you're looking for jobs, you might find one this month, right? It's going to be something that makes you feel stable, makes you feel secure, makes you feel like you can take care of yourself, right? Makes you feel like a provider for yourself, right? Makes you feel like do you see the warmth here, the good feeling surrounding your money and your job this month, right? If you're struggling with those things, like, I think it is about finding the meaning, right? If you don't love your job but it provides you with a stable living, it's about counting your blessings and really putting your money to work, right? It could be that, how many people work jobs where they get paid time off and don't even use it, right? And then it's like, okay, what am I doing this bullshit job for that gives me these benefits? Sure. And then you're not even using it, right? Like, use those benefits. Go to the doctor, take a vacation, use your paid time off. Like, that's the kind of thing I'm talking about here, where it's about imbibing what you do with meaning and getting the most out of what you do. That's maybe even just providing stability, but now there's a sense of like how it can provide for you, like, emotionally. All right, so let's pull some outcome cards for September, and then we'll kind of try to wrap this up here. King of Swords. So I think you guys are going to get really serious about your business. I think that if you have, I think this could also be prominent. I don't always think it's gender, but for some right now, I feel like prominent male figures. Either if you're, with a man who is like maybe getting more serious now about your relationship. I feel like this is someone who's ready to like level up, who's ready to take things seriously. So whether that's you or a person you're dealing with, especially if the person you're dealing with is an air sign, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or just someone who has a very sharp analytical mind, who is maybe less emotional than you, but like, remember how you guys were the King of Cups before, and now we're moving into the King of Swords? Someone who's a little less emotional than you, but like provides that balance, provides the thought behind the heart, right? I think that in September, you guys are gonna be, he's fierce and protected, but he's also strong and visionary, right? That's the word I want to use, is visionary. There's big plans, big things popping. I think by the time we get to your season, and especially like into early 2019, I think plans that we set now are going to be manifesting, right? I think you're going to be able to express yourself clearly, and I think that the one thing I will say is some of you should maybe be careful about legal situations. The King of Swords to me can be somebody who is even like a little manipulative or takes advantage of people with his brain. So be careful a little bit with contracts or anything that you sign this month. I would say read it like 3 times over, and be careful, I think, of people who might be a little too emotionally disconnected and might be a little hurtful to you. But at the other half, I do feel like even if, like, say this is a spouse, they could have both of those qualities where maybe you want a little more emotion, but then you recognize that they are amazing providers, that they take care of you and your children, that they have enabled you to have this beautiful house and this beautiful lifestyle, right? So understand, and I think even have a little sympathy if, like, you're dealing with this kind of person, and recognize that they mean really well. Queen of Cups. All right, so now this is definitely about your romance situation, right? I just feel the Queen of Cups is such a Scorpio card to me. If I think that with the court cards, they all represent all of the signs, but to me, each card kind of embodies the energy of particular signs extra well. And I think that of the cups, to me, the Knight is Cancer, the Scorpio is the Queen, and Pisces is the King. So especially with this being, because it's mystical, right? Because it's a little erotic. It's because it's a little inward. It's a little, nurturing. You're a very caring sign. Your sign always gets flack for being like the harsh Scorpion without realizing how loyal and faithful and nurturing you are to the people around you. So I think that this month, I think like your love lives are just going to be good. Like, you're going to feel comfortable. You're going to feel secure. You're going to be getting what you want from people. And it's okay to just take a little bit, right? It's okay to just let yourself be nurtured because you're so willing to nurture that like it's time to like receive a little bit, right? The way the King of Cups was the provider, there's also this energy with the Queen of Cups of receiving, of being open to potential, right? Of having your eye to the future. Again, she's a mystic queen, right? She's very psychic. She follows her intuition to a T. Intuition is going to be very important this month, right? Even with the King of Swords, like I always find that there's a big overlap in my head between like intuition being something that is watery and emotional and airy and analytical, right? All right, so Scorpio, let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards to see what else we can get for you here. Just as a little side note, my private readings, I'm selling them through Etsy now, but I'm going to be shutting down that shop by the end of the month. So I'm running a big sale for whatever I have there to just get sold. And once those are sold, then I'm shutting down the shop and moving to a booking system where I'll be able to do it through a website, and you guys can choose times, because it was becoming very overwhelming just getting 20 orders in one day, and I had no way to manage my time. So take a look at that if you're interested. At the bottom of the deck we have the Queen of Wands. So if you guys ever watched my readings before, one of the things I always say about the Queen of Wands is she's so sexual, right? But warm, but inviting. So I think like you guys, that's why I went with this extreme things. Because and wanted to explain that about sexuality being more than just like getting it in, right? It's fire from within. It's fire in the belly, fire in the loins, right? It's motivating, it's inspiring, it makes you feel good, it makes you feel warmth, it makes you feel cared for, it makes you feel like intimate and close to people. And underneath it all is, I think, a desire to feel intimacy for everything you're going, closeness to the people you care about. Like, as much as these are both like queens who receive, the Queen of Wands like sets the fire in the fireplace and like creates space for people to feel warm and magnetized to her, right? So I think you guys are very attractive right now, and I think you're very inviting to other people, and they pick up on that energy, right? All right, real quick, let's pull some of the Nature Nurture Oracle, and then I'll send you guys on your way. September, I think, is looking super bright for you guys. I think that there's just so much movement forward. So much, I think of any of the signs have done so much of an emphasis here on the future and laying plans. And again, it makes sense with Scorpio being a sign of legacies and power and like what you leave behind, right? What was I just saying about nurturing? The Kroll, though, is about nurturing yourself. So I would say also, guys, to be very nurturing of your money, right? Of making it grow, of making it something that will provide for you. Garbage trucks or something will provide for you in the long term, right? And then we have rest and the past. So in all this humdrum of work, you guys have to not lose sight of taking care of yourself, because I think what happens when Scorpio doesn't like take a step back and care for your own emotional self, because you guys are very emotional, even though you try to be big and tough and angry sometimes. Like, you're emotional, and you're in touch with your emotions, right? And that makes you highly intuitive and sensitive, but also if you're not getting the rest and nourishment that you need, maybe a little angry and spiteful and turns ugly and cynical, right? So take time this month to make sure that you're investing in self-care. Don't remember what I said about boundaries here. Don't let people take too much from you. Like, assert yourself where you need to assert yourself. Don't let yourself be overextended, whether that's work, family, love, friends, whatever. You need to make sure that you are keeping your energy for yourself, or not even just for yourself, but like I was saying, for your family, for the people who matter. Like, don't let people like take from you. And again, questions of legacy here, right? About what's burdening you in the past, about what's been passed down to you. So you might have some conflicts with family. You might experience, baggage, or they say like there's like DNA, stuff in the DNA that you carry with you, right? And there's a need to release. Anything that's following you, any like you know, hang-ups from childhood or from, you know, the way your parents were or whatever, or things you inherited especially from them, it's time to like focus on letting those things go. Do some cord cutting. We'll do meditations this month. I'm starting meditations on my channel, and we'll do meditations where we will work on release, and we'll work on severing energy cords from each other, right? From people who are taking from you, from your past, from your history, right? So live in the present, right? And this is a great way to do it. Like, get in touch with your body, with like your physical environment, and live now, and not like, you know, with this stuff from the past affecting you, or weighing you down, or family issues like, you know, becoming a burden, right? All right, Scorpio, well, I love you guys so much. Thanks for sticking here with me. There's going to be a lot of cool videos coming up in the next few months, so weeks, keep your eyes out for that. I'm so happy to be back here. I needed a break, I really did, and now I'm much more grounded, and a lot of stuff had to get shaken loose, but it got shook loose. I did it, and now I'm here, and now I'm myself again, and I'm ready to be here with you guys throughout the rest of the year and for as long as possible, right? So guys, have a blessed September. I hope you get everything you desire. I think you're going to. I think that you're going to take on responsibility and take on the challenge of the work, because you just already know, like, intuitively, that what you want is coming, and that you know that the work will pay off, right? All right, guys, I love you so much. Have a great September, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, you take care. Bye-bye.